On Sundays with Subscribers this week, we had yet another win. We need to take opportunities to celebrate the little wins we have on building up team common sense, building up team sanity. Remember, we've been encouraging people, from coaches to parents to teachers to politicians, to speak out about the participation of biological boys and men in girls and women's sports. And the Kennewick School District did something that on its surface might not seem super meaningful or significant, but it truly is. So they did a proclamation, it was a resolution, supporting fairness in competition and student safety. Basically saying, like, as a school district, we know we can't change the rules. This is a state thing. But on the record, they wanted to say, the Kennewick School District Board of Directors strongly supports fairness in competition and student safety. The Kennewick School District Board of Directors strongly affirms that sex is defined as biological male or biological female as determined at birth and is an immutable characteristic that cannot be changed, fluid, or altered. And they wanted to say finally that the Kennewick School District Board of Directors strongly affirms that biological males should not participate in biological female sports, and inherent biological differences and abilities exist between biological males and biological females, and that the board commits to protecting female sports. I think putting out a proclamation like that, taking a position, and they passed it, taking a position as a school district, sending a message to the WIAA, the state of Washington, is incredibly meaningful. On Sundays with Subscribers, we had both the president and the vice president of the Kennewick School Board join us to discuss.
The start of all this came from our track coach. She put together a bunch of information back in April and said, hey guys, I want to share this with you. As you know, right now, our fastest boy would be a state record holder in every event, and that's just from our conference. And I think that just kind of got us thinking about it. And then you always hear people say, oh, it'll never happen to you guys. You'll never see it happen. And then it happens. And we have a boy win a state title in a female race. And not only did that female come in second, right, because she lost this title to this boy, the team came in second. So this boy's win affected the individual race and the team race. And so that just added some urgency to say, okay, let's get this done. Let's come out, let's take a stand and see if we can affect change in the state through WIAA, the state legislators, whoever, but someone has to take a stand to get the ball rolling. And that's what we did.
100%. And we've talked about this on the show all the time. And, I'm so happy to hear that a coach took a stand, because I know that's hard, right? In fact, I think down in Oregon, a state title holder there was also a biological boy in a girl's thing. And the teacher or the coach who spoke out about it doesn't have his job anymore. So that can be a really precarious thing to do. Micah, it's a different political environment in Kennewick, certainly than Seattle. I don't know that you'd see this in the Seattle Public School District. So could you characterize the support for what you guys are doing and what the coach is pushing for in the school district?
Yeah, absolutely. So of course, you're always going to have a very small radical group who's against you, but really far and away, the support has been extremely, extremely positive, like floods of emails, school districts from across the state, parents, just emailing into the school board. We've had support not just from like big kids, but from families and from political leaders and from really all the way across the spectrum. So it's been really, really cool. And, there was a poll that about 70% of America agreed with the stand that we took. And so I think that this is not just a Republican Democrat issue. As a matter of fact, when that boy won the state title, he got more boos. One of our school board members was actually there, and he got more boos than cheers. And so I think just overall, people are not really happy with it. Think about it, Brandi. The fastest girl in the state, regardless of school size, took second in state.
Yep.
That's not cool. That's not fair to that girl, to all those teams, and as a domino effect, as Gabe mentioned, that team who would have placed much lower jumped to first place. Then the domino happens, right? A bunch of girls teams that would have got first now got second and third and fourth, and that's not fair. And then in other sports specifically, it's not safe either.
Yeah, and this is how it starts. People speaking out, making small statements that turn into bigger statements. If you want to watch that full interview with the Kennewick School Board President and Vice President, it was this past Sunday on Sundays with Subscribers. You can sign up to become a subscriber, undividedpod.com, undividedpod.com. And I love it. I love that their whole idea to push back started with a coach who's frustrated. They should be frustrated. Every coach of girls in the school districts in Washington should be frustrated with what's going on. They might be able to ignore it until it's one of their star athletes that's beaten by someone who biologically there's no way for them to compete with. And so they said, they're trying to figure out what they can do next. I asked them, do you think you guys have athletes in your school district who are ready and willing to dip out of competitions? And they said they think that there are. And I hate to ask that of athletes who, especially, in the last couple of years of school, and if they're the best athletes in the state. So that's a decision that they have to make with their parents to do what's right. But we're talking about an issue here that this is one of the fights of our generation, this whole issue around gender ideology. And so and we'll be on the right side of it. I don't know if it's going to be 5 years or 10 years or 20 years where people realize that, but you have to decide what part you're going to play in it now. And if you want to be a part of this moment in history and trying to put things on the right path. And so I give so much credit to the Kennewick School Board, the 3 members at least who voted in favor of this, for just putting their stake in the sand and saying the Kennewick School Board does not support this. We're going to work to try to fix it. But for now, the Kennewick School Board wants everyone to know that we do not support what's happening to female athletes. So check out that interview, undividedpod.com.